your season predictions. Give me a bold one. Give me what you got.
Whew. So generally speaking, I think ultimately Omega's going to get away, but the Empire's still going to get what they need because somehow Palpatine has to return. So they're going to
returns.
They're going to get what they need. I don't know if this show will be able to go dark enough to end game a child main character. That just feels really
pretty
dark
for an animated show, but
and
it gotten darker. Like
that's where I
Palpatine
think
is in the series a lot too.
I'll be surprised if more than one member, like I think it's going to be Omega, and let's just say it's Omega and Hunter end up going back to what was it called? Febu? What was that planet?
Pabu.
Thank you. Or maybe it'll end up being Tatooine because it's Disney Star Wars. I don't know. I can never trust them completely, but I think
haven't done it yet. It's got to be.
I think most of the group is going to die in some heroic fashion, and that it'll be so that Omega can finally have that place to settle down and stop being on the run. And it might be all of them, honestly. Like it might be that the whole group doesn't make it and that it's just her. But I would be very shocked if more than one clone from the squad is here at the end of the season. So broad strokes without getting into any like the individual plot lines.
I would agree. I think a lot of them, I think Clone Force 99 is going to come out significantly lower numbers, or if not completely eradicated by the end of this series. I think it's going to end ugly for him. I think got a lot of hints, we got a lot of Palpatine shown in previews, which is not good. He's talking about this being the most important project of the Empire. Obviously, he's trying to clone himself. Hemlock, he's got him on it, trying to do it. I wonder, I'm not sure if they get what they need. So he does return, but they're also chasing Grogu and the Mandalorian. So do they not get what they need, or do they need more from Grogu? That's where I think you're right that Omega gets away because of storylines later. We know like them still chasing Grogu makes it sound that makes me believe that they still need something there that they didn't get from these guys.
Yeah, because obviously they get the Kaminoan to do enough work to get to where Moff Gideon's making some clones. So I do think they get something out of her, but I probably where you mentioned that they still need Grogu.
I guess they probably need Grogu for I guess I also forget that they probably need Grogu for the Force side of it. So maybe I'm wrong there. Maybe they get to the point where they can all those bad clones of his body you see when they go to Exegol. Maybe that's byproducts of them using Omega to get there, but they can't keep him alive because there's no Force part of it.
Midichlorians.
There's no midichlorians. no midichlorians at all. Other things I think happen. I think we do get a breakout. I think Prison Break's coming. I think across. I think Clone Force 99 does reunite as a whole, minus Tech, who is rest in peace. Could very well see him coming back as Franken Tech, or like we mentioned earlier, the Dark Troopers project.
Yeah, that'd be so weird if Tech ends up taking the Crosshair role, where like he's the one working for the Empire, but it's not really him. He's just been programmed.
Yep. I think you can very well. I think there's an absolute possibility that happens. I do not think he comes back alive as Tech. They pulled a fast one this last week, and I posted in our Discord. They did a real quick video on Twitter with a bunch of new clips of everybody except Tech, who, if you don't know any better, you're like, oh shit, Tech's in here. Like, oh my God, he's alive. But it was actually old footage of him. So they put old footage in of him. So
Sneaky.
they're sneaky little bastards. Because I was like, "Oh shit!" And then I was looking at the comments, and it's like, "Oh no, that's old." So they even got me, and I was like, "No fucking way! Like he's alive!" But they they got me pretty good. I'm gonna go wild here because I've got this episode list up in front of me. The last episode of the series is "The Cavalry Has Arrived." I wonder if it can't really be the rebels yet. It's a little too early for that. But what if that is like the cavalry, as in like a clone army, shows up, like Rex and everybody, like all these Rex, Cody, all these deserter clones,
all the people that Rex and Echo have been, and the senator
saving.
have
Yep.
been saving and trying to, and there could be some defectors, right? Because maybe that's
Yep.
part of the prison break as well.
Mm-hmm.
While we're thinking
Yep.
up potentials, that could be added to the cavalry if they're
Mm-hmm.
able to get more
Yep.
clones, and based on whatever the hell it is that they're doing to them in there, they might even
Yep.
be, because that was always been kind of the whole thing with Squad 99, is that
Mm-hmm.
they've taken on I think it's in the very first episode, or definitely in the first season 1 arc, they're talking about how small the group is, and they're taking out larger units, and it shouldn't be possible, and all this stuff. So I'd
Yep.
imagine a good
Mm-hmm.
few dozen to 100 of
Get some
those
regs
kind of
in there.
clones, yeah, with some regs would be pretty formidable up against those stormtroopers that can't hit
Mm-hmm.
the broadside of a mountain.
Next question. When does your favorite character, Asajj Ventress, when does she make her appearance?
Ooh, probably as like the end of episode 3. It would be a
Okay.
guess that I would make,
So you
because
think right away?
we tried.
I think right away. Like, let's
No
get her out there in
earlier.
the season.
No, I
Yeah.
think it's no, if they do get her day 1, I think it's at the very end of episode 3,
Mhm.
to try to make sure
I,
people come back for next week's release,
I
but
think it has to be early in the season. You can't bring a character that popular back. Also, someone that everyone thought was dead back late. You can't bring her back too late because she's got to have time to get into the story, develop, and they're gonna have to explain how she's alive.
I am still wondering if what we get, if they didn't just cheat again, and maybe it's going to be some other character, like a side character from Dark Disciple, maybe another Jedi, somebody somehow who was around during that, and we're just getting them telling a story, and that's how we see the Asajj Ventress
See, I don't
flashback,
think
is that it's
I don't think it's a flashback. I think this is I
I
think she's
I
there.
I
I think it's
hope
too
I hope that you're right.
I think it's too dangerous of a game to play. Like you that's such a major character to put her that prominently in the season 3 reveal trailer and then to be like, "Oh, actually this is just a flashback," seems dangerous. Dangerous from a fan backlash perspective.
Maybe. I mean, it depends on how they do it, because theoretically, didn't they only bring Anakin back as like a dream when they use the world between worlds? And I'm not suggesting they do the world between. I'm just
Correct.
thinking that
Yes.
there
Yeah.
could be a creative enough way to do it.
Yeah.
But no, you're
Mhm.
right. Well, especially to me, I was, maybe I undersold it because I was viewing it as, oh, this is a character that I like, but I don't know that everyone else
Mhm.
is as invested in this character as I am.
I think there is a Clone Wars sect very invested in that character. Because a lot of the people that are watching this show are watching that have watched that show.
Oh, yeah, you know what?
Yeah, I just read that too.
Yeah, before or as it ties, because it was the last scene of season 2, really. So, how do you think the sister ties in with all of this stuff? Abby also says she knows a lot about all the tests going. Yeah,
Mhm.
she's been there for all of it, and at least I guess has
Mhm.
a bit of a conscience. We did see she was the one who stopped Crosshair's, we'll call it treatment, There's another word that
Yes,
starts with
treatment
T.
and
That's probably what it actually is. But again,
yeah.
TOS. Um, yeah, so maybe she will be somebody, especially with Omega being her sister. It's
Mhm.
gonna be hard to probably sit there. But then again, she's already been watching her brothers get tormented. So I don't know, James. What are your thoughts
Is
on the
there
whole sister thing?
yeah, is there something where because it's her sister and not just these clone brothers that all look and sound and feel the same, you know?
Yeah,
Is
this one
she a
sounds like
part?
her. I
Yeah.
caught on that
Is
right
there
away. As soon as she
is
said,
there
"Oh, you
something
must
like
be Omega."
yeah, is there something with that where it trick clicks something and she sees what's about to happen and she's like, is she a catalyst for the breakout? Does she help them get out? Probably. I think that's probably a an arc of she helps them get out. She absolutely factors into this 100%.
Yeah, I agree. I think, and you're gonna have to help me with the name again. The Kaminoan that's been
Nala say.
Nalase, thank you. I think
Hmm.
Nalase does not make it very far into this season, and it
No.
ends up being Omega's sister that kind of takes over that role as the lead scientist who's
Hmm.
going to continue to do these bad things, but has Omega's best interest at heart.
Hmm.
And like you said, probably aids somehow. Because otherwise, it'd be really weird. The other main culprit would be, say again, that's exactly how they got out the first time, right? When
Hmm.
she had to do an override in the cargo bay or whatever, so that they could
Yeah,
control
exactly.
their escape.
She's
So
already broke him out once. The second time would
it could be another
rehash and going down the same story.
poetry in that they rhyme, and this time, after the person who did that, the Kaminoan
Hmm.
gets knocked out, then all right, Echo's sister ends up being the scientist with the conscious, not Echo,
Yeah.
Omega's sister. But that's
Amiga.
that's
Amiga.
that's kind of how I see. But how many other unknown lady clones are there, James? That's like I think that's a bigger
Yeah.
reveal than now that like as we're talking about it here and as Abby brings it up, I don't think it sat with me long enough for me to really understand the gravity of that. Like how many damn clone variants are there? Bless you as well. You're stellar on
Thank you.
that mute button too. Well done.
Yeah, a nice little new mic I've got over here. Got that button right there. Yeah, like it brings up a good point. How many were there, and I guess how many are still alive? Because City of Camino, it's not City of Camino. It's actually got a name, but the Caminoan place is
Well, it's
far back.
it's damn near just the
It's
city
gone.
now.
Maybe that's where the they escape to, and they just live on that platform forever. Clone Force 99 just lives on that little platform.
Yeah, I mean they're well
Crosshair did for like 30 some rotations.
yeah, they know how to survive monsoons and tsunamis and stuff now, so they're well equipped.
Yeah, yeah, they can handle it. Yeah, but to Abby's point, like Omega's sister is going to factor into this somehow. I predict she's going to get them out. Uh, then my final question:
Bum bum.
how how far into the season before they get out? Before Crosshair and Omega get away? You got 15 episodes, and I'm
Mid
cheating because I'm looking at the names and I have a good
Yeah,
guess.
midpoint, I'm guessing 7 or 8.
6 and 7 is a doubleheader on the 13th,
Mm,
and the names of the episodes are Infiltration and Extraction.
8, there it is.
Yep.
Whoop, there it is.
Hmm.
I like
Oh,
the
bonus
pacing of that
question.
makes sense too. Yeah,
Yeah, halfway, just right before halfway. That makes sense. All right. Bonus question: which other bounty hunters are we going to see this season? We're confirmed Ventress in some form. We both disagree on how, but we have Ventress. Which other bounty hunters are going to be a part of this season?
I think we'll probably see, Fennec again, right?
I would
She
say a return of Fennec.
Yeah, I would think so. I
I
don't know how they're gonna work Cad Bane how they would work Cad Bane into it, but timeline-wise, would he still be
He'd
he would
still be
still be in
alive.
play,
Yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah, because he was brought in specific trying to get Omega.
yeah, I would
Doesn't
say he's
it
already
doesn't?
been early
Yeah.
in the season, so I could see them I mean, that's the biggest name they could For me, anyway, that's the
Mhm.
biggest name. What about you? Those are my 2.
I
I don't wanna
think
take them all.
I think we get a Boba Fett ref appearance.
Can we get
It
Bosk too?
give me Bosk. But I mean, if Bosk is coming, then Cat Bane's coming. Like, but there's just something like it's a series about the clones. It's about their fall. We're getting the few precious ones that are untouched or the enhanced ones in 99. Man, like Boba Fett just seems like he fits in this story somehow.
I've got it, James. The series needs to start with a cold open, and it doesn't have to even be you don't even need to return to this later. I think you can
Mm-hmm.
just do this and people will love it. You gotta have Boba, Bosk, Cad Bane, Fennec, maybe Asajj Ventress, a couple other bounty hunters I'm probably
Mm-hmm.
forgetting. Have them all sitting around a table drinking blue milk together and do like a recreated version of the opening scene from Reservoir Dogs when they're all
Mm,
complaining about whether or not they tip and all this stuff, but do it with the bounty hunters.
yeah.
And then just like roll, and then boom, the Bad Batch, and then you never even
Yeah.
come back to it. It's just
You
like
don't even rep. You don't even
here's the
acknowledge it's real.
yeah.
Like people ask about it. It's canon. Yeah, it's a real scene.
Yeah, you want some
We're not
cameos?
talking about it.
Here.
Get them
Here's
all at
all
once.
buy our action figures.
Yeah, buy them all, baby.
I would not be mad about it.
Jesus.
Everybody else might though. So sorry.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Any other last minute uh predictions, Kev? I think I've got all mine out.
Yeah, I think I
Quinlan
may
Voss. Are we gonna get a Quinlan Voss viewing, a sighting?
well, I'm gonna say potentially because I know we disagree on this point, but
Mm-hmm.
it might we might see Quinlan, and then that's how we would see an Asajj
Mm-hmm.
flashback or a scene that
Yeah.
included her. It could be Quinlan telling his story, and that's how we see her.
He's
So
alive, yeah.
yeah, so I won't rule it out. No, other than that, generally speaking, and sorry if I'm repeating any of this, but yeah, I think it's gonna be. I don't think it'll be long lived. I don't know if Crosshair fully rejoins the group, but I agree with you. I
Mm-hmm.
think that like they did earlier, there's eh, they're going to work together for a couple of
Yeah.
episodes,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's to break him and Omega out. Maybe he joins up with them to help Omega out, or like they
Mm-hmm.
said, they originally the whole reason they got into this mess was because they were going to come save him.
Yeah.
So I imagine they would still be willing to. Maybe it's just they're there to save them both. Now it seems like Omega's taking precedent, and they're now set. They the 99 probably might not. Well, because didn't they get separated? Right. That's what I'm thinking about. No, she's right. She's with Crosshair right now.
Yeah, she's
Um,
in prison. She's at the Tantus facility, is my guess, with Crosshair.
yeah. So
And the other
okay.
three are still together. Or, yeah, the other three and Tech is in the ground.
So what I'm kind of getting foggy on, I don't know if they'll know that Crosshair's there or not. So whether or not it's part of the plan, they'll definitely work together there. I don't
It
know
might be,
that
it could be
he'll.
like we break her out and she does the whole we have to save Crosshair thing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, something like that. So I like the idea that Avi had that Sid may come back.
Come into play.
It does feel the way they've set that relationship up with her. They were really ham-fisted about the fact that she was shady. We knew
Mm-hmm.
this was. I knew it was coming. The one guy who
Yeah.
hadn't seen the show yet, I was like, oh, she's gonna
Mm-hmm.
betray him, huh? But they've been equally
Yep.
pretty heavy on the fact on setting her up as somebody who's going to return, who
Yep.
as maybe a final act of to be honest, I think Sid's gonna die too, because I think that would
Ooh,
be
hot take.
yeah, because I mean that would be a little weaker to me. It would make sense in other versions, other animated series, whatever that they do, to have her redeem herself and then go get to be a good guy
Mm-hmm.
again. But she kind of royally screwed him over, and they've
She,
saved
yeah,
her
she
from
she got him bad.
certain death
Mm-hmm.
almost. So I kind
Yep.
of think the only thing that would make someone like Sid actually help them is if she knew she could no longer do anything to help herself. And so as one
heroic sacrifice almost.
Exactly, you know, one final act of amends and have a sacrifice there. I can at least do this for you guys on my way out, kind of deal.
Ooh, good. Oh, that's a good line. Should be a writer. That's a good line.